Boom, boom. What's up, everybody? This is DTM Delta Tango Mike, and we're ready for another art battle. DTM Versus is the name of the show. And I'm going to share with you a couple of things about what we're doing here today, including the rules, introduce you to the contender for today, and give an update onto what happened at the last DTM versus art battle. Oh my gosh. I'm glad that you are here. Let me give a big shout out. Give a big shout out to those who are already hanging out with us on Behance. Of course, Sam Peterson. What up, Sam? Misty. Battle Time says Misty. That's right. And then Pens at the ready says Clever Devlin. That's right. That's right. We are ready. The pencilers are at the ready. If you're watching this on YouTube at Adobe Live channel, then make sure you click the like on the button on the video, like the video, and make sure you subscribe. So that way you can keep up with other art related streams by Adobe, Behance, and Adobe Live. And we already got some folks absolutely divine joining us on YouTube. It's all the family. But for this one, we're Team Lord Yatta. Oh, okay. So let's go. Let's get right into it. All right. So I am DTM Delta Tango Mike. You can find me anywhere on the internet, Delta Tango Mike. And today we are here for another DTM versus art battle. And the artist is named Lord Yatta. Thank you, Kim, for giving us a heads up on who the contender is. Lord Yatta. I've known Lord Yatta for a long time. So let's go ahead and bring him on so you can say hello to Lord Yatta. Hello, Lord Yatta. How you doing today?
Hey, what's happening, y'all?
Welcome to the DTM versus art battle, and thank you for being here today. Tell us a little bit about the idea behind the theme for today's art battle challenge.
Man, in my mind, I've been wanting to do an owl for the longest time. I've been wanting to get one tattooed, so I
Mm.
figured this will kind of settle both things so I can actually work on it on here and get it done.
Okay, nice. And talking about tattoos, you are a tattoo artist. How long you been a tattoo artist?
20 plus years here in
Hmm.
the city of Atlanta.
Okay, been a while.
Hmm.
It's in it for a long time.
Yes,
As
sir.
we get into the discussion of the owl and what is DTM versus our show, let me go ahead and share with everyone the rules. Let's go ahead and put them up. The rules says of the DTM versus. Use the hashtag DTM versus if you guys are posting anything related to today's show. And that is Delta Tango Mike and Lord Yatta. You can follow us on your social media to check out the rest of what I'm going to tell you. So today's rules of the live art battle is start with a sketch, draw and have fun, and the limit is 1 hour. That means that by the end of this hour, we're done. We're out of here. And so you must follow offline on social media so that you can see us finish the art. Follow on social so you can see the post when we finish the artwork, and you can start to vote. And at the end of the 8/15, August 15, we'll see who has the most votes, and that's who's going to win. And as we get into the drawing part, I will tell you that last week or a couple weeks ago, we had Jimmy Flame, and oh my God, Jimmy Flame came hardcore with the votes. And he almost hit 60 votes, and I only had 20 votes. So it's just because it's my show doesn't mean that I get to win. That is how it goes. Okay, before we break out the Adobe Fresco and ask, we're gonna ask Lord Yada why he likes Adobe Fresco to draw. We're gonna give a shout out to all the folks who are joining us in the chat right now. Of course, Misty is in the house. Melissa Showers. Ooh, here we go. Hey Dan. Hey Lord Yada. Thank you, Melissa.
What's up? What's up?
Melissa Showers beat me a few weeks ago, so yeah, they're all here to gang up on me. Joshua, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Thank you all for being here. Let's go ahead and share our screen. Boom. So here we go. This is my screen right here. That is Lord Yatta's screen. Lord Yatta, tell us about what is it about Adobe Fresco that you like as you start working on your drawing? Let's go.
Let's start with it.
Boom. It's time.
So, I know you introduced me to this particular program some years ago, and I just liked it. It was kind of versatile, kind of simple for me for being a entry in the entry level of it because
Mm-hmm.
I've only been using it for maybe a year, maybe 2 years now.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of some of the other apps, I just like this one the best. I can do my colors, some different renders, and it's got this vector brush on here, which is my favorite.
Yes, vector brushes. Because what? What is it about the vector brushes? The way
Well,
they draw, or
well, yeah, the way they draw and get that sharp line, you can do that thing, and then it'll bubble up or straighten up. I can do a circle, and it'll turn it into, you know what I mean? I
uh
love
huh,
that. That is
uh huh,
awesome.
uh huh, uh huh. Nice. There you go. All
So
right.
yeah, me digs that.
Okay, so you got your sketch. Anybody is interested in checking out the sketches, downloading them, and using them, check the description of this video where you can find the link to download the sketches and finish the art piece in your art style. Then share it on social media and use the DTM versus hashtag. The link is in the description of the video. Go for it. I'm trying to find my owl. I've worked on my owl. Oh, I know what it was. I know what it was. I worked on
I
my
thought
owl.
when
Go
you
ahead.
when you sent that thing out, I thought that was for me, and that was like a private thing between me.
Mm-hmm.
Finish it and then do it, but that's for everybody. Anybody who wants to do it
That's right.
can do it,
Yes,
right? Okay, okay,
yes. When I give folks a chance to try it out for themselves to see what they like,
all
and
right.
boom. Joshua says it's cool to see a tattoo artist getting into fresco. Yes, and I love that vector brush too. And so, as when you design your tattoo ideas like this one, do you use a template or a picture of the body to draw like the tattoo how it would look
Yeah,
on the skin?
yeah, absolutely. I'll get to take a photo of the placement area, and then I'll superimpose it on that body part, and then that way I could show them. It
Mm-hmm.
really came in handy during the after time of COVID because I
Mm-hmm.
was not doing in person consultations,
Mm-hmm.
so I would get them to send me a photo, and then I could present it to them without having to drive however many miles to come into the shop.
Right.
Then they could actually see it. So
Oh, it gives you a
it
chance to
worked
do
pretty well
consultations from afar.
from afar for
Uh
sure.
huh. Uh huh. All right. So I drew an owl because that was the challenge that I challenged Lord Yatta. Oops, something happened to
There it is.
my camera. Yep, there it is. And I challenged Lord Yatta, and so then Lord Yatta said, "Well, let's draw a owl." Mm-hmm. Boom. Sorry, guys. I'm bringing the camera back in 1 second. Come on, camera. Yep. I don't know what happened. But of course, because we're live, things happen. And so I was like, okay, let me draw an owl, and I'm good into drawing birds. So is it
No,
something that you like? Yeah, I don't draw birds. I don't think I've drawn a bird in a long, long time. It- it- do you draw
nah,
many birds?
not really. But uh, birds of prey are probably my
Mm,
outside of big cats,
yeah.
are like my favorite like animal. But the owl lately, I saw this video, and these owls are like dope. They're like they're stealthy.
Mm-hmm.
They're quiet and they're huge.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
People, you think about an owl sometimes you always think that they're really small, but these things are big.
Mm.
And I remember we went to some place, some farm place. Anyways, they had the little nature preserve there, and they had the owls. They would fly over you. We would
Uh-huh.
all sit in
Uh-huh.
the thing,
Mm-hmm.
and they had this one barn owl. Man, that thing was like, but Anyways, this video you couldn't hear it. The way
Mm-hmm.
it flaps its wings,
Mm-hmm.
it produces like almost zero wake in the way it moves through the wind.
Oh
And I
yeah.
thought that was awesome. But I've been liking them like since forever.
Okay. Birds of prey. Yes, lots of eagles. I do draw lots of eagles because a lot of the Aztec artwork that I draw, but not like realistic. They're very much an illustration.
Yeah.
And so I was like, this is a good idea to draw an owl. I do like owls. One time I was walking to the train station, and I was about to get to the walking down the sidewalk,
Yeah.
and something caught my eye on the side of my eye, and it was and I saw something like standing next to a tree. So I look and I was focused and trying to figure out like what is it? What's standing right there? And I thought it was a kid. It
You thought it was
was
a kid?
yeah, I thought it was a kid. It was a hawk.
Oh yeah.
Yes, that thing was like 3 feet tall.
Man, them things are big.
Oh, I was scared. Man, the things can fly. They were huge. They were huge. Kimberly said that was Callaway Gardens where they had the
Halloween.
owls fly
Yes,
over us.
yes, yes.
Thank
That's
you,
what it was.
Kimberly, for the sharing the rest of the story. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I can't see the comments over here.
Oh, you got to refresh that page. Use that mouse and then refresh that page. Big ups to Sam, keeping it real in the chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh man, dang. A lot of people
SLP
checked in.
Price joining us. There you go. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so I have my vector brushes. I'm using the mapping pen. That's my favorite. I like the mapping pen over the G pen because the mapping pen has a very narrow line weight depending on your pressure, and you can always adjust that
Mm,
too. But when you use a taper in your draw, it's really easy to lose track of the line weight
mm-hmm.
depending on how hard you press. So if you use the mapping pen, that's my go-to. Boom, and so here we go.
See, you know the names of all of this stuff. I don't actually pay attention to that. I just look at the line that I'm drawing. And it's like, yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
like that. Or I'll adjust it up here
Mm-hmm.
with the size. But
Yeah, the more you work with it, the more
mhm.
familiar you get, and that's something that I like to dig around and see. Well, what kind of effect can I get if I use this, if I use that, and because like even with tattoos, precision is important,
Absolutely.
and so with my drawings, I don't like wasting my effort. I'm trying to make sure the line is what it is. Even if you have the option to undo and all that, I still want to be able to be in full control of it.
I was one thing that Julia told me when she apprenticed me
Hmm.
at the tattoo place is like you have to be deliberate
Right.
in your line work, like on purpose.
On purpose.
So people think it's simply tracing, but it's so much deeper than that.
Hmm. Yeah. Joshua says, I'm really digging this owl theme. Melissa says, I love the owl theme. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Joshua. Make sure you vote for DTM, okay? Follow Delta Tango Mike and vote for DTM. And so right now I'm just done at doing a little bit of my um, outline, and then I'm gonna get into the details in a second. Let's see what Lord Yatta's got going on right there. He's doing a lot of the details already. Yeah. And do you have a particular art style that you're going for when you're drawing this?
I just kind of was doing some kind of stylized thing. Just,
You said
I don't know,
stylized. That's right. That was the
stylized,
the
yeah.
challenge. Yeah.
So it could have some remnants of some realistic. I see that's kind of the way you went, especially with the body style.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, I went realistic with the body style,
mm-hmm.
but the drawing is gonna be more like a lino cut. I discovered what I was
Ah,
after.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, okay, okay. I assume that you won all of the competitions. Honestly, I haven't watched all of them. I
Mm-hmm.
watched a good bit.
Mm-hmm.
But when Aisha was sending out those vote for me thingies, I was like,
Yes. Yes, my wife has been
hmm
instrumental in getting the word out so people
for
can vote
sure.
for me. That's right.
Yeah.
We got a question from the chat. In the chats, Sams is asking, Loriata,
What's
what
your medium?
traditional medium do you use the most earlier on before doing digital? Pen and ink?
Pen and ink for sure.
For show.
Pen and ink. Um, I paint. I use mostly acrylics. I've been getting into watercolor
Mm-hmm.
lately, which I love,
Mm-hmm.
especially on wood because I use wood for that mostly now. And shoot, when I was a child, I would use ballpoint pens or whatever I could get my hands on, but I got really good doing portraiture style stuff. I was looking at the models in the Essence magazines, using ballpoint pens
Mm-hmm.
and color pencils and such.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like that's some of the most basic things we always get our hands on, no
Hmm.
matter where you are in life. Pencils are my thing. Like you can find a pencil anywhere, pretty much, and start drawing. Boom. Thank you for that question. That's awesome. Yes, Melissa Shower says a great question. Ballpoint pens and Xerox paper.
Xerox paper for
Yeah.
sure.
Yep. It's the cheapest, most easy to grab, and paper. You can get 500 sheets of paper for a very low price.
Right.
Boom.
You know what's crazy lately? I've been doing a lot of, I guess what they're calling it now is upcycling. It's
Mm-hmm.
like you can create on anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like half the stuff that people throw away. I got boxes of stuff in the house. It's like, why? I could turn this into something. I could turn this into something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Do something with it. Boom. I'm drawing my talons. Bam. Got my so here's my detail. Like a lot of all the shading and all the details gonna be just a bunch of lines. And I'm not sure where I have my original inspiration drawing at, but is that's what it was. Just a lot of lines. And I grew up drawing comics, drawing characters out of comic books,
Yeah.
and so I studied a lot of comics. And back in the day, it was a lot of lines for the to give you a sense of detail. Boom. You had some color, but a lot of the detail was told through line work. A lot of line work. There you go. And then some of the black shadows is just gonna be a solid. Boom. So there is a circle and a triangle on your drawing, and I decided to do one also. I don't know if I did it because subconsciously because I saw your drawing,
Yeah.
but I know what I wanted in my drawing. So what's up with the circle and the
You know,
triangle?
initially I was gonna do a shirt for the tattoo shop, Tri Cities Tattoo in the House.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right,
that's
right.
what the triangle was for.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, I kind of didn't like it
Okay.
as I started to sketch it out more and get my idea together. But I'm still using a circle in some kind of way. I wanted it to almost kind of emulate maybe a moon, but I really wanted the image to kind of center in here.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so I got rid of the triangle, but I'm gonna use a circle. It's gonna be actually kind of sitting in the circle is how I want it to look.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, okay. Got another question. This is good. You guys share your questions. Say something in the chat so that we know that you are there. We can give you a shout out. This says, I imagine vectoring is a natural workflow to get into for people who did a lot of pin work. Traditional, yes, it is. And Melissa says, agree. It was for me too. Yeah, because you kind of looking for that precision and the lines when you're just pen and ink. And I think that's one of the reasons also why it was so natural for us, for me to get into tattooing when I did a long time ago, is that you get used to that permanence of the ink, so you're careful and you practice your line weights through pressure and hand control and so on. So yeah, and then and vector's kind of similar. Like you want it to be just right, just right.
Yeah, what is this? Imagine vectoring.
And
Do you sketch on paper and then trace in Adobe? Most of the time, yeah.
so the question is, Lord
Sometimes,
Yada, do you sketch on paper and then trace in Adobe Fresco, or do you go right in on digital sketch?
yeah. Generally, I still do thumbnails on paper, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like a maybe a rough sketch, some similar to this. But sometimes I like doing the sketches in the red pencil. Um, and sometimes I'll just do that. And I'll do my layers and just do like a sketch. A lot of times I've been doing a lot of the mandala henna style tattooing
Mm.
stuff with, and I'll sketch that out straight in the digital thing, and I'll generally just do like a rough shape and then just kind of fill it with my shapes, and that's how I do that.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And I think for as long as we've been drawing, it's paper and pencil has been around in our traditional workflow for a long, long time. I started to do a lot more digital, even the sketching, just to so I'm already in digital in a digital space.
Right.
Um, but man, it's so quick to, and that's why I carry a little sketchbook. Is that it's so easy to just quickly scribble something. Sometimes you just need to scribble it so you don't forget what it was that you had an idea about.
Yeah.
Boom, boom.
Yeah, it was hard for me to. Dan kept pushing. It's like, bro, you need to get your digital thing. I was like, man, look,
Uh-huh.
I got all these pencils, I got all this paper, I got
Mm-hmm.
tons of stuff. I'm never gonna run out, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's just something about the what do you call it, tactile, the touching and the feel of the paper
Mm-hmm.
that's that connection for me. But um there was another device I was using and its nib was like, man, it was like, man, this is like it's almost exactly the same. And Dan was showing me that no, you could change the weight of it and the pressure,
Mm-hmm.
sensitivity of it, and all of this. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, this is kind of cool. This is kind of cool. Probably 6 months in, I hadn't touched a piece of paper and a pencil or a micron in that long, and I was like, man, look.
Uh-huh.
So, but it's fun. But I would never uh, stop using the other because they're all just tools, and you use them to get the job done. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Right. Right. And I think that's important, right? Is that go for what you feel comfortable with and take it from there. Take it
Yeah.
from there.
But the other side of that too is also being open to learning new stuff because and even just art and techniques is always evolving. So you know,
Right. They are always evolving. Mm-hmm. Melissa says, "Awesome red, and Hannah inspired. Yes, the red and blue ink or pencils is always a thing, right?
yeah.
When you, I know for me, it's like I wanted to be a comic book artist, and when I realized that comic book artists would draw with blue pencil, I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna start drawing with blue
Blue
pencil.
pencil. That was the reason. Then you find out why they do it. It's
Uh
like
huh.
okay, it's photo. It doesn't
Mhm.
copy on the photos when they do the
Mhm.
copy or whatever.
Yep. Yeah. And so yes, non-photo blue. Uh huh.
Yeah, there you go.
Uh huh.
I knew there was a name for it.
Yes. And so red is I feel like we use the blue, the red is because we use a lot of tracing paper
Oh
to
yeah.
just like in digital when you use layers to clean your sketch and make it better or adjust certain things. We use transparent paper so that we can
Hmm.
clean up that tattoo design and get it
Yeah.
ready.
In the same way.
Nice, nice, nice. All right, we got some questions by Kimberly, and let me see. Make sure you download the sketches and finish the art piece in your art style. The link to download the sketches is in the description, is in the chat, and in the description of the video. King Solo on YouTube says, "Yo, yo, son of the Lord here. Welcome."
What's up, Solomon?
That's right. That's right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Absolutely Divine, aka Kimberly Super Lucas, is asking a question for both. In this moment, on what canvas do you prefer to create? skin for tattoos, digital, paper, or other materials, or painting. And if you can't choose one, rate what's most enjoyable. What?
Man, that's a loaded question. All of them actually, shoot, they just all different.
All of them, what? You enjoy all of them?
I enjoy all of them.
And so if you enjoy them all, how do you rate them from least to best to least?
Nah, all equally. I can't say it's like choosing a child. What are you talking about?
Uh huh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And do you
Yeah.
feel like that? Like that's like your art is a creation of within yourself and it's a part of yourself?
It is. It is. It is. It is. Is through you, and at the same time, it's also for. I mean, you got the only way I could, what do you say, differentiate between why maybe I would like one more than the other is just because maybe what each one gives you,
Mm-hmm.
or how you kind of feel about it. You know what I mean? It's
Mm-hmm.
like the stuff that I create for myself in my studio. Let's say if I'm painting, the having a certain kind of control and the time to really sit with a piece and do this,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to doing something for somebody else, tattoo wise, where there's a series of preparation I have before I tattoo them, but
Mm-hmm.
then they're gonna take it with them wherever they go, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you don't get to sit with it like you get to sit with something that you're painting or even what you're doing on digital. But
Hmm. But all of those
yeah,
are different, different kind of joys, but they're joys nonetheless.
right,
Uh
right,
huh.
right.
Uh huh. Uh huh. Because even if you don't, even if you do a tattoo on somebody, and you enjoy the creative process and you enjoy the art, they're gonna walk away. They're gonna leave.
Right. I mean, even
The
if you get to
canvas.
take a picture of it,
Uh
it's still different,
huh.
you
Uh huh.
know.
Uh huh.
So you gotta. I know a lot of artists talk about not wanting to show their stuff or not wanting to post it,
Mm-hmm. Right. Right.
and that's cool. But I think there should be things that you should never post. But there also should be stuff that you should share with the world. You
Mm-hmm.
gotta be the one to figure whichever that is. But
Mm-hmm.
for the different reasons. I don't want folks to bite my stuff, but it's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this is a form of communication. So
Yeah. And yeah. Drawing is a form of communication. That's right. Yeah. So for me, I think I enjoy the sketching in pencil and paper the most.
mm,
I do have, and that's because, and you can see it in the drawings, there's like a looseness, a discovery type of feeling and emotion when when you're sitting there, sketching and getting the idea out.
mm,
I enjoy that more than anything else. I enjoy exploring. That can be digital and traditional, especially when I'm
good.
painting. I like to explore. Like, what if I try this paint this way and this brush that way? Um, so there's still, and I guess this exploration. It's still the
Mm,
exploration. Yeah, yeah. But then the part that I don't like in any kind of project, whether it's digital or traditional, is the fact that now I gotta finish this,
like
and
but is anything ever finished?
right. Is it well as long as the client is happy and they walk off with their tattoo, then it is finished until they come back the next time, I guess. But when you're
Right.
sitting there and you got hours to go,
Yeah.
and it's like, well, I figured out the process here. I figured out my shading. I figured out how I want this line work to look. But now you got to do the same through the rest of the tattoo, right?
Right.
And so that's where the tediousness is sitting there. I don't enjoy it as much, but it's still cool to go from a
Yeah.
blank nothing to now here it is.
Yeah. From sketch to scan. I actually like that part. The part. that it's probably more tedious for me is the prep and me doing the sketch in beforehand. When I get to the part where I get to do it and render it on skin,
Mm.
filling the shading and all of that stuff, and then once you're done, you see that smile, you be like, yo,
I get that, and
yo,
that's it. Right, right, right. Yep, yep.
or
Mhm. Or,
somebody just gives you some random idea,
mhm.
just some elements. Yeah, I'd like to commission you for this painting.
Mhm.
Um, you can do whatever, but I just like these colors and this is a subject matter. But they let you, go for what you know because they like your particular style of work.
Mhm.
And then, and they don't know what you're gonna do, how you're gonna interpret it. But then at the end, you show it to them, and they be like, "Man, look, you never disappoint. You never disappoint." So,
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Given free reign is something. We have a question. We have another question and a comment by King Solo. He says hi from Sophia. Welcome, Sophia. Welcome, King Solo, to the
hey,
stream. Yay, yay.
following Sarah Sophia, what's happening? Kimberly, what's happening?
What's happening? Vote for Dan. All right, we got that.
Yeah, vote for Dan. Got that out the way.
That's right. We got a question by Misty. Says, question for both of you. Where do you draw your inspiration from? Mm.
Always answer that one with life.
Oh, okay,
I
okay,
mean,
okay.
I don't think it gets any more simple or technical than that because if you've experienced any bit of it, there's so much to pull from, you know?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Life. Yeah, well, the things around you inspire me. The things that I see, other artists inspire me.
All of that.
Some of you watching this today don't know this, but I've known Lord Yatta since 1990. I got here in '94, so it was '95. So it's gonna be in a couple of years. It'll be 30 years. We known
Yo,
each other a long, long time. Oh,
very, very long time.
yes, yes. Something happened to my camera. Hold on one
Yeah.
second, everybody. We lost the
Did I do that?
camera. Yep, yep, yep. Let me go ahead and switch and go to the screens to where the drawings are happening, and I'll be right back. Hold on.
Still plugged up.
Yeah, you're good.
Inspiration. I guess life is a simple, um,
Mm-hmm.
non-involved answer, but all those things. I second what he said. It's other artists, family, friends, colors, light, emotions, um, activities like riding bikes and going bowling and sitting out in the yard watching the bamboo tree sway in the wind and watching the stray cats run around the neighborhood catching birds.
The Stray Cat.
The stray cats, right? All of that stuff is kind of gives you something. You just walking outside, you can see all these different color palettes. And I swear to God, I drive through the city and I'm rubbernecking because I'm looking at this graffiti and it's like, ooh, I could try that color combination. That would be dope if I
Mm-hmm.
use it on this thing that I'm thinking about drawing or something like that.
Mm-hmm. And I know people can hear me through your microphone because I'm standing right here. But I would mention how long we known each other because Lord Yacht inspired me from a long time ago. Just coming across another artist and seeing what they draw and how they draw, that is also a form of inspiration.
Yeah,
Where inspiration comes from other artists.
other artists.
Yes. Thank you for the questions. Keep them coming as I fix this camera. There
It's
we
going
go.
wild here.
So it's what are
What
you
happened? The
doing
battery
now?
run out.
Yeah. So what are you doing right now, Lord Yada? What you doing with your drawing? What's
Erasing stuff. Trying to
Uh
get my
huh.
lines right. Working on this wing, this cap wing right here. I had a you have a vision in your head, and then when you get it down to actually doing it, it kind of evolves into something totally different sometimes, which is weird. Like I got this process for tattooing. It's like I never do a full render of the piece. I always do a sketch, and I generally never have to draw more than one uh, render of the design. I've been fortunate in that.
Mm.
Um, but I never present it fully shaded or anything. Um, because I like in the moment to when I put it on the skin and do it like off the head at that time. And I have to say I do have an inkling of an idea how I'm going to shade it, but it always works better for me just to do it in the moment. Because those times that I have did a full render with the shading and all that, when I tattoo it like that, I never like it,
Oh yeah.
and I don't know what that is. The clients, they love it.
Uh
If
huh.
they didn't, they didn't say nothing. But
Uh huh.
I always find it better. It always comes out better for me when I shade it in the moment.
So don't
But
plan the whole thing.
it's like I don't plan the whole thing out.
Mm-hmm.
And even when they ask me about shading, we'll talk about colors and stuff that they have preferences with. But I always show them previous work. It's like this is the style of shading that I
Mm-hmm.
use. If
Mm-hmm.
they look through my body of work, they'll be able
Mm-hmm.
to see. It's like, oh, I like your crisp lines and such and this that and the way you do the shading and stuff. But
Yeah.
and then even the way it's going to be shaded or colored just depends on the subject matter, of course. But
Mm-hmm. Right. And I think that you got to give yourself some room, especially when moving between one medium and the next. Is that give yourself some room to make adjustments
yeah,
and try out different things. The way you draw with paper and pencil is going to be different than when you're on skin, because the medium is different, and so you may the medium itself may give you a little insights, like, yeah, let's try this other way.
right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that, and I let the art talk to me sometimes. Sometimes, I know how I'm gonna start the drawing, but I'm not sure how I'm gonna finish it.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh huh. Yeah. I know what I want to do, but I'm not sure how if I'm gonna be able to get there for that. Yes. Thank you everybody for the questions and comments. Appreciate ya. Thank you, Sam, for the heads up. And I was gonna say that a lot of times I get inspiration by other artists. I follow lots of artists on social media. I pay attention to a lot of the live streams that we see here on Behance and Adobe Live, and I learn from others by watching what they do, but also just getting other ideas. I watch animation shows,
Yeah.
cartoons, read comics. It's like it's everywhere. Inspiration is everywhere.
I would tell people, I would tell my mom, she said, "What you doing? Watching cartoons again?" I'd be like, "I'm studying.
I'm studying. Uh huh. Uh
I'm
huh. Yeah.
studying."
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, really?
Uh huh. I'm taking notes right now. Mm-hmm.
Look like
Yes.
you got another question over here.
Yes. It looks like a question there. So the question is, of course, when you do a brand identity, how many mockups should you add into the final presentation? What's the limit? we,
Mm,
we don't do brand identity where we do art, but I think that we can still use that question the same way as in tattooing. Like, how many mockups do you provide when it comes to a tattoo?
yeah.
What's the
I
limit?
wouldn't do more than two,
More than two?
honestly.
Uh-huh.
Minus the if they have some changes that you want to make, I wouldn't do more than two.
Right.
Because the consultation is the biggest part of that. So if you have all the information and they're able to um, clearly describe what it is they want, and also them having a good idea of how you create and what you create,
Mm-hmm.
then you shouldn't have to go back and forth a bunch of times drawing. If you
Right.
present them with two things, um, and they have some adjustments to make, that third one is the final is the completion after that.
Right, right, right. There you go. And so getting all the information up front is super important. I like to ask people for references, images that explain what they want to say to me, anything that will help me visualize it besides words. And of course, I do ask a ton of questions, and sometimes I may even share some examples of something just so I can double check. Is this what you're talking about? Is
Right.
this close to that idea? And I don't like it when people say, "Well, I don't want to show you this other thing somebody else did because I don't want you to go that direction." Well, I want to see it just so that I stay away from that direction.
Right.
Uh huh. Yeah. Yes.
But that, the other part is that just depends on how much you want to work
Mm-hmm.
and what the agreement is between both parties, what you feel is fair. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's
that's
true.
one reason I stopped doing graphic design because I hate that. I do not like doing stuff like that for folks because you get a lot of wishy-washy folks that really just don't know what they want or they don't know how to express what it is you want, and you
Mm-hmm.
end up doing way more work than what your wheelhouse is
Mm-hmm.
really, you know, how do you say it? What you're skilled in doing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep. And you should stick to the things that you like, the things that bring you joy. You
yeah,
know, don't try to do everything. You know, if you learn to draw, if you're good at drawing and you're interested in graphic design, then do graphic design. But if you're interested in tattoos, then find a way to get into that industry and then do that thing you like. And even once you're in tattoos, some of the things that I've taught for my tattoo apprentices in the past is like, let's focus on the things that you like to draw, the
yeah.
things you like to tattoo, and we're gonna make a career out of that. That's where your career is gonna come in. You don't need to draw everything and anything that anybody has.
You know,
Boom. There you go. Focus on the things you like. Otherwise, you're gonna kind of be sad. You're gonna feel like a Xerox machine for real.
yeah. And that was the thing. It's like early on in the tattoo career, and I would say me tattooing and painting run simultaneous. Like the year I started tattooing is the year I decided to like really dive into my painting and stuff too.
Hmm.
And to me, they feed each other. It's like the better that I work with, if I'm drawing like with pen and paper and stuff and working on my shading, that just makes me better at the tattoo side. If
Hmm.
I have to do a portrait, that
Hmm.
whole muscle memory thing is something that's real. Um, they have to feed each other, you know.
Hmm.
And you have to be happy doing it because you could get to a point where it's like, well, you getting into this for the money? Well, everybody's gotta have to earn because we gotta eat. But if you get to a point, you 10 years in, and you're still doing the same stuff, even if you're great at it, it's like where's the growth in that?
Hmm.
You know. So there's also a thing about, and this I mean goes across all platforms, is cultivating your your clientele. It's like you got to teach the people that are working with you how how you work. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
And as they learn about what it is that you're doing, not to the point where, okay, you tell them so much they're gonna start doing it themselves, but it ain't that. It's about that how that communication kind of goes across to where it's like, oh wow. I mean, I had no clue what it took to do what you are doing, and now they got a better understanding. They can sit back and be like, okay,
Hmm.
I know this person's gonna it's gonna do right by me. But it's always a two sided. It's a collaboration. It
Hmm.
ain't I'm just giving you this money. You gonna do this for me at whatever I say because it don't work like that either. You know what I'm saying? So
It's a relationship. That's
so
right.
yeah,
It's a real relationship. Open communication, understanding of each other's position, and working with people who have a process that you can understand and agree on, and feel like you are part of that process. That's good. That's good. That's a lot of good stuff right there. Yeah.
Kimberly's question: what are
Yes.
your thoughts on artwork and AI?
We'll start a controversy during the middle of our stream. All right.
I'll let Daniel get that one
What?
first. Huh?
I am a various different thoughts depending on the situation and who I'm talking to and why.
Right.
Um, because the one thing is that I like to draw. I seriously like to draw. I don't know what it's like to not be able to draw. Okay, so I'm not gonna let AI draw for me
Right.
because I know how to draw. However, there's lots of things that I like that I'm interested in that I don't know how to draw or have the reference material for it.
Mm-hmm.
And so my one of my many stances in AI is that sometimes maybe you just need AI to create that reference material for you. But it's reference.
Right. Exactly.
Is not the drawing. That's not what I'm providing the client. At no time is there any AI in my work.
That's the thing too. It's like you think about just being an artist, and it's like you said, getting all the information, all the reference material that we have. Years ago, it was uh, magazines. Cause like I mean, you used to when I met you, you were drawing all the muscle bound people and stuff, but you was carrying all the
Mm-hmm.
what is those workout magazines? I
Mm-hmm.
can't even remember the name of them,
Yeah.
but
Yep.
you was always using those as reference.
That's right.
Because
Muscle
if you
and
can't afford,
fitness.
right, right. So if you can't afford to hire a model to take these pictures and a photographer, you weren't doing it yourself. I mean, you had to look at these other things. So
Mm-hmm.
that is a tool, but it's like it's just a tool to be used in the right way. But what is the right way is how you need to use it for whatever it is that you're doing. Some people are afraid it's going to be taking people's jobs, but then you got to look at what kind of job that you have that can be taken over by AI and what you
Mm-hmm.
probably need to be doing different. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah. What can you do different so that your job is not automated by AI? And so that's from the artist perspective, from somebody who does not know how to draw or can't or won't, then they can use AI to produce the things that they wanted to produce. But it's one thing from the different AI models that I've come across, and I have played with them, is that they all have the same look. So you kind of, even when there are different styles to the artwork, you can tell there
Yeah,
was is not a human hand involved in that. And if you're okay with that, then you're okay with that. And I think people have a right to choose for themselves. I'm not
absolutely.
going to um, um, condemn people for the
Excuse
choices they make.
me.
hmm it says Joshua says that is exactly how I think of the AI results. That is how I find new reference and ideas. That's right. I like the thought of that painting a cross training for tattoos. Painting is a cross training for tattooing. Is in a sense. Pen and ink is more
It's
in
more
the
so.
more like a cross
I
training for
mean,
tattooing.
it has its related aspects, and I guess that's what I was trying to say when one feeds the other. To about Joshua's statement here, when I say painting feeds the tattooing for me, think about it like this: you get into a loop of like I've been tattooing 20 years. Like I say, if I was just doing the same stuff over the time, I'm always creating for somebody else. Well, painting, for me, gives me the satisfaction of creating something for myself. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And it's a different kind of feeling in that. But the technical, I think, aspect, sometimes lends a hand to, because it will help you with some color theory kind of things that you may think about using for one or the other,
Mm-hmm.
or working on your sketches and even how to present and um, present something to people, and how you frame your work and such.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I paint for myself. I can't say I've sold a lot of paintings, but I love to paint. There's lots of things that I like to paint, and my Azteca Moderno series being one of them.
Yeah,
And
super dope.
yeah, thank you. You know, can't say I've sold a lot of those paintings,
Yeah.
but I enjoy it for myself, and I like
Right.
the experiment. I like to see what happens sometimes. Hmm. Yeah, we see.
That's the thing. I was drawing. It was always for me in the beginning. People liking it was just icing. On the
Mm-hmm.
cake. It was like, thank you, that's great. But I'm gonna still draw for myself. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
do it whether I'm getting paid for it or not. That
Mm-hmm.
wasn't the motivator. Was monetary gain,
Mm-hmm.
but just because it's some days it's therapy.
Yes.
Some days it's just you got ideas in your head. You just need to get them out. The stuff that I got that nobody's ever seen
Mm-hmm.
outside of like close family. So
Yep. Draw for yourself, create for yourself, do things that make you happy, and you'll find a career there if you
Mhm.
follow the basic guidelines of a business.
Yeah, but stay creative.
But stay creative. That's right. Let's see how I'm looking. Okay, so we got a few more minutes. 5 more minutes left. Let me see what you got going on right now.
Dang, man. When this is funny because when I talk, I draw slow.
Oh.
So like, if you came into the shop and was trying to get tattooed and y'all want to have a conversation, this doesn't happen all the time. But if I have a conversation with the folks, I'm working slower. So that
Oh,
2 hour tattoo
uh,
might turn into a 3 hour tattoo.
interesting.
But some people don't like to talk, and
Mm-hmm.
that's cool too.
Yeah. Some people bring their headphones
Yeah,
and they're lost in their.
be watching Law and Order and stuff.
Uh-huh. Yeah, they bring their own show, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Get lost in theirs. That's right. Joshua says, yeah, working on art is absolute therapy. That's right. AI is like imagining shapes in the clouds, real fancy freaky clouds that can spark your imagination. That's great, clever. I like that. I'm gonna use that. That's a good analogy.
Hmm. What?
It's like looking through the clouds for inspiration. All right, so I'm adding a couple of details on my work right here, right now. I'm using shapes. I'm very happy to have shapes as part of the equation in my art here in Adobe Fresco, so I can do a couple of things that give me a good real uh, geometric shapes. Gotta have it. Bam. Boom. We're running down to the last couple more minutes. I want to make sure that everybody follows Lord Yatta. Find him on social media, Lord Yatta, and give him a follow, because in the next couple of days, we will be sharing our final pieces on social media, and there will be a link where you can vote for your favorite piece. That's right, you're going to vote for DTM, of course, but you will be able to see the final product, see the final drawing, and then vote. And we have the voting will be open until my next art battle, which will be in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, we have Penny Doodles joining us. And you don't want to miss out on any of these art battles. So you want to make sure you follow our social media. That is Lord Yatta. I am Delta Tango Mike, DTM. Check out the links in the description of the video. Sam Peterson, thank you so much for that. There it is, DTM on Behance and my website, Instagram. And then make sure you follow Lord Yatta and check out some more of his work. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us. This owl is going to come out amazing. I love my owl. I'm going to share my owl one more time. Look at that. There it is. Yeah,
Well, it's looking
boy.
good there, Brady
That's
Bray.
right. That's right. And then there is Lord Yatta's owl. And so, yeah, the only way to vote is to make sure you follow and click through the links. Any last words, Lord Yatta, before we go? Any kind of advice for upcoming
Uh,
artists?
hey, use everything that you have to create, and share what you learn with the others. You know, and to make your creativity even better.
Okay, that's right.
Appreciate y'all coming out. It's been fun.
Thank you, everybody. Here's a shot of the final artwork right here. Joshua says, looking good. Thank you, Joshua. Thank you, Sam. SLP Price, Clever, and Kimberly Stewart Lucas. Thank you for making a Behance for that. Every artist and creative person should have a Behance. Sylvie, thank you for stopping through. Cassis, Melissa, and everyone. If I miss your name, I'm sorry. And of course, on YouTube, thank you for stopping through, folks on YouTube. Absolutely Divine Events. And Lord, and let's see who else. Solo. And
Miss Sarah Sophia.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You guys are awesome.
Absolutely divine.
I appreciate ya.
Vince.
That's right. Until next time, I am DTM, and that is Lord Yatta. Say Lord Yatta.
This is Lord Yatta. Oh yeah, I wasn't following. I'm looking
It's
at you.
okay.
I'm looking at your owl. I'm sorry.
We'll catch you on the flip side. Thank you so much. Peace out.